Hello, my name is Gwen, and welcome to your practice. Today, you'll need a chair and a blanket. So go ahead and take your blanket and give it a fold, and then roll it nice and tightly. Place it down at your feet and nestle your arch, the arch of your foot, into it so that the heels are hanging over and the toes have a little freedom. And then scooch your sit bones back and lean into the back of the chair. Maybe even a little press, and then come forward, a little press, back. So it feels like you're rocking forward and back, a varied press. So maybe a 1% press, and then a 2%, maybe a stronger one. And then come where it just feels good. And you might need to scooch your sit bones back more. Let yourself be comfortable here. Today's practice, our attention will be on our bandhas, our locks. And the focus will be on 3. Jalandhara bandha, chin lock in the throat. In the navel center, Uddiyana bandha, our navel lock. And then right at our pelvic floor, our mula bandha here, our root lock. So we'll come into this through our breath and then through some movement so that we can strengthen these areas, our core line and the pelvic floor. I've been asked by our yogis that watch our videos, can we do something with the pelvic floor? So today is all about the pelvic floor. So take a deep inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. A cleansing breath. And then again, in through the nose. And then come into nasal breathing now. Notice the chin lock right at the back of the throat. You might be able to hear that constriction. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling. And then drop your awareness down into the navel. Gently and softly, let it expand outward. And as you exhale, let it gently come inward, flying up a little. Inhale, feel it expand. Exhale into the navel. It might feel like it's coming in and hollowing the belly. Let yourself be playful with this. And then we'll travel down to the pelvic floor. Like you have to go to the bathroom, hold. You'll feel a gentle lift of the pelvic floor. The dome gently coming upward. Happens naturally when we swim, when we exhale. And then also when we bring something close into our knees, a ball or a yoga block, or maybe even our hands pressing in and our inner leg pressing into our hands. A little muscular effort. We'll come into that a little bit later. Right now, through our breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale, feel that lift. It works in combination with the Uddiyana Bandha, the navel lock. So feel that relationship now. That connection with the navel and the pelvic floor. Now bring your hands into, you'll thread them right in so that the tips of the fingers touch and they're right at the lower back. So inhale, let the chin come up, that chin lock exposing it. And as you exhale, press the lower spine into the hands, chin to chest, a little squeeze, hollowing. Inhale. And then exhale, round, nice and slow as you comfortably can. Inhale, open up like a back bend, hold, and then exhale, round and hold. And then let the spine gently come stacking all the way one vertebrae on top of the other, the head balanced on top. Let yourself shift forward and back on the sit bones, forward and back. Come where it feels effortless to sit. Take a few deep breaths and notice the locks of the back of the throat, that navel center, and the pelvic floor. Here's where you might want a block or a ball. We're going to use our blanket today, so scooch up in your chair so you're no longer, you can no longer feel the back of your chair. Take your blanket, give it a fold, and bring that in between the knees. Bring the hands to the muscles on either side of the legs. Close the eyes once you feel the feet nice and flat on the floor. You can feel the spine growing nice and tall through the palate, through the crown. Take a deep inhale there. And as you exhale, squeeze the inner thighs towards each other and hold that squeeze. As you're holding, take a breath. Feel the bandhas, and then relax that hold. Still holding the blanket thereabouts, just a wee bit. Take a deep breath, and then exhale, squeeze. Hold that squeeze, then relax. And this time, like a fluid motion, take a deep breath. You'll squeeze the inner knees towards each other and then relax. Take the blanket down so it's just below the knees in the inner, the lower legs, so in between the shins. Feel the feet flat onto the floor, hands onto the top of the knees, the thighs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze the blanket. Hold that squeeze. Notice what muscles are ignited, and then relax. Nice deep breath as you relax. We'll come into it again. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze. Hold that squeeze. Take a breath as you're squeezing the blanket. Exhale into the navel. And then relax. And this time, like before, the fluid style motion. A little squeeze into the blanket. And then gracefully we release, still holding the blanket. Now we'll take the blanket down to the floor in between the ankles. It might be off the floor a wee bit or on the floor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze the blanket and hold that squeeze. Feel the heels to the big toe to the baby toe, and then relax that squeeze. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, squeeze. Hold that squeeze and take a breath. Feel the bandha, the locks, navel, pelvic floor. Relax. And now we'll come into that rhythmic breath. Gently inhale, exhale, squeeze the ankles towards each other. And then like fluid style motion, relax. So now we'll come into the core line just a little stronger. So here we go. Take the back to the chair. Breathe. Take the heels to the floor. Take a breath. Arms up, feet up. Hold. And then sit. Take a breath. Exhale it all out. We'll come into that again. Heels out, arms up. Maybe you stay here or lift the legs. Hold. And then sit. Take a breath there, seated. And one more for good luck. Go ahead and bring the legs out, arms up, and then all the way back to seated. Come down and grab that blanket in between the hands. I'm going to roll mine up more in a ball. So it feels like I'm holding a ball. So here we go. We're going to come right back into that again. So close the eyes. Let the heels rest out in front of you. Arms up and one foot right onto those front toes. Take a deep breath. Notice what toes are on top. And then come seated. We'll come into that again. Take a breath. Heels out, arms up, other toes on top. Hold, take a breath. Exhale into that navel. Feel the pelvic floor gently come up. And then sit. And we'll come into that one more time, fluidly. Arms up, legs out, and come all the way into seated. Beautiful. And then from here, you can take the blanket right beside you. Let yourself scooch back into the chair, but you're not leaning into the chair. So we're going to come into a moving chair pose, almost like a squat. So let the arms float. Full control. And if you need to look, you can look for a moment and then close the eyes. So now we're going to move the torso from the sit bones to the shoulders with the arms. So let the torso come forward as the arms come up. Arms come back, you come back. Arms forward, torso comes forward. Back, you come back. Now let's come into this a little more, and feel into those feet. Notice where the weight is coming down. Is it in the front of the foot as you lean forward or the back? So you might have to scooch forward in your chair so that the weight is coming forward as you come forward. And now you're going to hold forward and then come back. Take a breath. Arms are down. Feeling into your locks, the pelvic floor, the navel, the back of the throat while you breathe. One more. And we'll come into that again. Let yourself come forward, arms forward, hold. Breathe. And then let yourself come forward, back to a seated with the arms down. Take a breath. And now a fluid motion forward and then back. And take a breath. Now some of you might want to stay there. This time we're going to actually come up. So as you come forward and arms come forward, let yourself come up into a chair pose, looking downward. So the back of your neck is long. And then arms come down, sit, take a breath. Exhale it out. Inhale. And then exhale, come all the way up into that chair pose. Eyes are closed, looking down, maybe just a little bit down, feeling into the muscles responsible. And then slowly come down. Take a deep breath. And then exhale it all out. One more for good luck. Let yourself come forward, fluid-like. And then all the way back. Hands onto your lap, scan the body. Inchworm, cinch your sit bones back and just feel for a moment. What does it feel like right from the sit bones all the way up to the shoulders, through the back of the throat, Jalandhara Bandha, your chin lock, down to the navel, right into that navel lock, and down into the pelvic floor. So let the arms come back and then forward. Come all the way up. Go ahead and reach down and grab your rolled blanket, might be in a ball like mine, and face your chair and bring your hands right on top of the blanket, so that your heel of your hand is in the middle and your fingertips are on the other side like a wedge. Look at your feet, let them be hip distance apart. Let your right foot come up and exhale, nose to knee connection. It never has to get there. Then inhale it nice and long. Feel from the crown to the heel. Exhale, nose to knee connection. And one more like that. Nice and long. Feel that length. Exhale in towards the knee. And then place that foot on the floor. Bend both knees and sway the hips. The back of the pelvis gently one way and then the other. Let the head go in the opposite curve. So it feels like you're forming an S with the spinal column. A little sway one way, the head tilts, nose is pointing down. And we'll come on over to the other side. So let yourself come into the center, bend those beautiful knees a wee bit, and lift up that left leg. It can be a little or a lot. And if you're like me and you have a wall behind you, the wall is a beautiful thing to press into with the foot. So take a deep inhale. Feel the length from the heel to the back of the skull. Exhale, nose to knee as you squeeze all of those locks. Inhale, opening them up. Exhale, we squeeze. Inhale. Get that length. Exhale, last one, nose to knee connection. Place that foot on the floor. Bend both knees. Sway in opposite directions. Let the head go in the other direction of the back of the pelvis. Nice and slow, like the second hand of a clock. Feeling and sensing the spinal column as you move like this. And then now we'll come into a cat and cow. So with the hands exactly where they are, gently take a deep inhale. Feel the tail tilt up, the nose point forward. And as you exhale, round that spine. The nose might feel like it's pointing towards the knees. You'll inhale, arc, just like when we were seated, and then exhale, you'll round. Just a few more like this. Nice and slow. Inhale, arc. Exhale, round. And then one more. And then bring the hands to the knees. Walk them up the thighs. And go ahead and bring your chair to a wall, if you have a wall, for a forward fold. Leave the blanket where it is, but bring it lengthways so that you can bring the hands on either side of the roll. And then bring your back to the wall. And then slowly you can press the shoulders into the wall if it's there for you. Here we'll go chin to chest, a little squeeze of the chin lock, rolling down, walking down the legs to the chair. You might walk the feet back into the wall and then come down to your forearms and rest your head onto the roll. And rock the sit bones from one to the other. And come into the bandhas like this now, the locks. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the nose and feel that throat lock. Inhale, feel the belly round. Exhale, feel it come upward. And you might feel more of the pelvic floor coming upward. So this combination of the navel and the pelvic floor might be a little bit more clear now, a little more focused. And how about one more breath just like that? Then bend those beautiful knees. Bring one hand right on top. Let yourself come back into the wall with a little press, hands together, thumbs at the sternum with a press. Take a breath there. And we'll come into that one more time. Chin to chest. Hands walk down the thighs. You can let the head hang here if you'd like. Or you can come to the forearms, palm over palm. If it feels better to rest the forehead down, please do. And come right back into the sit bones, climbing upward. And it's not about opening up and lengthening the back of the legs in this forward fold. So don't come into too much of a stretch there. A 3.5 out of 10 in sensation, please. Come into the throat as you breathe and feel the back of the throat, that constriction. Come into the navel. Feel the hollowing of the belly and the pelvic floor gently coming upward. And 3 more breaths like this. And 1 more. Then let the head rise as you press down, hands to the knees. Let the back come into the wall, palm to palm, press, thumb to the sternum, press, opening up the rib cage. Take a breath as the lungs drop in. And here we'll come right back to seated. Bring the blanket on your lap. Bring the back into the back of the chair. Scan the body here for a moment and feel from the feet to the knees, knees to the sit bones, all the way up the torso through the rib cage to the shoulders. And take that dive through the brow to where you think the center of the brain might live. Take a breath right there. Take the palms and give a little bit of a rub and just feel the heat build. A little friction, a little fire. Here once you feel that fire build, we'll use that. Cup the hands. Bring that right over the eyes and elbows down onto your roll. Rest the head. Rest the breath. Let go of the notion of the locks now. Let them be open, free flowing with ease, like a river. Feel the breath easily flowing from the crown all the way down through the feet. The head rests, the shoulders, the back, the sit bones, the leg muscles soften down to the soles of the feet. Feel that soften as you rest here. Take another deep breath. And then go ahead and drag the fingers over the face with that notion of erasing and taking any tension that's available. Palms at the heart center. Feel that appreciation for yourself for simply showing up. Take the thumbs into the sternum with a little press of support. Take a breath into all that support around you and inside. And a light little bow as we pour this out beyond these walls as loving kindness to all. Namaste.